What's up, everyone? Today I'm actually going to return to something that I did quite a while ago and haven't done one since, and that's a thoughts on video. And this is usually where I give like an overall I just basically talk about something that's usually outside the game. Like I think the first one I did was on the Splatoon competitive league, and I did some on weapons, but it was more so like my overview on the weapon in general. But today I actually wanted to talk about the Splatoon ESL tournaments that are happening right now. And if you didn't know, Nintendo actually partnered up with ESL, which I think stands for Esports League. They're basically the people that handle a lot of CSGO tournaments and stuff like that. So they're pretty big when it comes to esports, and Nintendo recently partnered up with them to handle Splatoon tournaments in Europe. Unfortunately, it is Europe only. So people outside Europe cannot participate in this. And so now Nintendo has announced there's actually a prize for the winner, aside from some general merchandise. The winning team actually gets consoles. They actually get the NX when they win. And this tournament lasts until March, I think it is. And I don't know how frequent they are. I haven't actually paid attention to it that much. But this tournament is hosted by Nintendo and ESL, and it's actually not just like Turf War like most tournaments that Nintendo has hosted. This is actually involving the real competitive scene, where the focus is on the three ranked modes rather than including Turf War in it for some reason. And so now people have been participating, or people in Europe have been participating in these tournaments with the intent to win the NX. Now, what's disappointing about this is it's only Europe. Like, people outside Europe cannot participate in this. And so a lot of people, in North America or anywhere outside Europe have been wondering if Nintendo has decided to only keep this in Europe. And so I just wanted to give some thoughts on this. So overall, I think that this will eventually leave Europe as well. I think the point of it being in Europe was to have a test run, I guess. And I apologize for any of these pauses. I'm not feeling too good, but I feel like the tournament in Europe is more of a test run than anything. And the fact that the prize is going to be an NX, I feel like they have plans for a sequel or a remake or something of the game for the NX, and that when that version comes, if it does, then there will be more of an attempt to make this worldwide. In case you didn't know, actually, Nintendo has been sponsoring tournaments in Japan as well. So it's only Japan and Europe have sponsored tournaments now, and have big name tournaments that Nintendo has backed. And so now it's only outside those regions that have been left in the dark. But I feel like eventually we will get it. North America will eventually see these kinds of tournaments. But the thing is, making them worldwide causes a problem with time zones, because time zones in this world are very stupid, and so what a good time for one region is not a good time for other regions. And so I feel like the reason it's Europe only right now is because of that. There's the time zones in Europe allow them to compete in a fair situation with each other, but if they made it Europe and North America, one side of that situation would get screwed. One time zone would have to wake up early or stay up late to participate in this, and it would make it kind of unfair. Which I think why this will be a test run is later on they might try to figure out a way to get around that and try to figure out a time where anyone from region to region can compete, or the next time they'll just have it be North America, North America and South America only. I don't know, but I just feel like the one in Europe is more so of a test run than a definitive Nintendo only cares about Europe and Japan, which has been going around. There's quite a few people that think that the only reason it's Europe only is because Nintendo of Europe is playing favoritism, or Nintendo doesn't care about America or something like that. But I feel it's more so of a test run, and this is a better sign than anything that we've gotten, because Nintendo, by acknowledging the Splatoon and teaming up with ESL to host these tournaments, Nintendo has been kind of on the side of accepting the fact that people want to take Splatoon seriously. And there's like Nintendo recently has been working with a lot of communities to help support the esports scene with them sponsoring Evo now, instead of where back a few years ago they used to throw fits about Evo broadcasting Smash Bros. And they used to try to get it. People had to fight to have Smash, like Melee and 64, be streamed on the Evo stream. But now Nintendo sponsors Evo. So I feel like Nintendo is more accepting, or is becoming more accepting of the esports scene. And well, one of the big problems with Smash was the creator, Mr. Sakurai, actually doesn't like the fact that the game is considered competitive, while the Splatoon dev team seems to be fully aware that people want to take it seriously, like with the proof is like the highly detailed patch notes we get. When Smash for Wii U gets patched, it just gets simple things like made it more balanced, or like just changes to make it more enjoyable. But when Splatoon updates, we get actual data that we can go off of, where the Smash community has to actually figure out what changed on their own, because the dev team won't tell them anything. So I feel like the team behind the game is more accepting of it becoming serious, or they just want people that really are interested in that information to know it. And then Nintendo backing the European scene and teaming up with ESL is a sign that they're accepting of Splatoon being considered an esport. But now, is it an esport? Well, it kinda can be considered one, mostly because tournaments, now there's officially sponsored tournaments running in Europe under the ESL name, which is a big name in esports. But that's, whether or not it could be considered an esport now is debatable. It's more so on your opinion if you believe that this is a sign that Nintendo is wanting to go that route and have it be considered an esport, or it's just something they decided to do because fans asked for it. And there's been a lot of outcry to Nintendo and the dev team to have Splatoon be taken more seriously, as Nintendo of America hasn't shown any signs of anything. In Japan, they've actually had really big tournaments where there was a big money payout. I think the first one they had not long after the game's release, the winning team got a total of 1 million yen or something like that. That's what I remember hearing. And there's another big one coming soon. So now that I feel like they're reaching out of Japan and reaching other communities and other regions, I feel like that's a good sign that the community isn't as dead as people think it is, and that Nintendo is wanting to fully support this game in more than just keeping it alive, but wanting to help people outside the casual community by participating and accepting the competitive community as it is, as opposed to, ignoring it and acting like we don't exist and trying to shun us like some other people at Nintendo have for their communities. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I haven't really got much else. So that's that. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you want to check me out on Twitter or Twitch, the information is on the screen now. And if you have annotations enabled, you can click on the thumbnails below to go to some playlists of mine.